we go again. The Last of Us keeps popping back up like it's herpes. Every time I try and avoid talking about this absolute disease abomination that only a few overweight, fart-sniffing, Kool-Aid hair dye wearing weirdos on Twitter actually like. But ladies and gentlemen, Abby Zilla's chesticles pull me back in. It's official, Naughty Dog has been spayed and neutered because finally we're gonna get the alpha male protagonist we've all been asking for. Because in the blue corner with a record of 700 wins and 0 losses, all by going in dry and grossing all of our opponents out weighing 300 pounds of solid testosterone, Senator Abby Strong, who is accompanied in the ring by her cuck Neil Druckmann. Now Abby Zilla's transformation to She-Hulk will finally be complete when she dual wields 2 golf clubs and fights back against the patriarchy in the next Last of Us, which will be called Last of Us 3 Greta Thunberg Saves the World, where Abby Zilla is gonna bear striking resemblance to Elliot Page. Anyway, look, Naughty Dog is doubling down on going broke. These smooth brains will never learn. Hit the subscribe button. Let's get to 60k now. The Last of Us 3 has a story outline that Neil Druckmann hopes will one day see the light of day. Naughty Dog has penned a story outline for The Last of Us 3, which creative director Neil Druckmann hopes one day will see the light of day, but it's not in development at the moment. Well, I hate to be the one to break it to ya, you coffee barista looking weirdo, but The Last of Us 3 will be the Rose Tico of video games, sitting on shelves, stinking up the place with its unbought carcass. Yeah, that's very similar to the second Last of Us, isn't it? Because that game didn't sell millions of copies. No, it didn't. It shipped millions of copies. Big difference. Most of those copies were returned when Abby Zilla was getting clapped. Now it's called The Last of Us 3 because only 3 people in the world are gonna buy this trash. Those 3 people are gonna be Tyrone, giving it to Neil and his wife as a hospitality gift. Anyway, joking aside, let's get serious. The Last of Us 3 is being marketed as everything you hated in the last game, but more of it. Oh yeah, wow, that's sure to be a winning strategy. Go for it, which is why I'm glad this game is coming out. Because this will surely be one of the most legendary go woke, go broke situations of all time. Naughty Dog and the rest of those woke idiots are gonna find out what happens when you pander to less than half of your audience. Now, looking at this objectively, which is what we do on this channel, people bought The Last of Us 2 because they thought they were getting a Joel and Ellie adventure. And we all know what happened with that now, don't we? And if you don't, let's take a trip down SJW lane. The sleazy, greasy salesman known as Neil Druckmann admitted on camera on a podcast that he blatantly created false advertising featuring Joel because he knew in his pea brain that people were not gonna like The Last of Us 2 otherwise. Literally lying to millions of people. I mean, really think about that. Just casually admits things like false advertising like it's justified. Good job, bravo. You ripped $60 from millions of people. I'm sure you're proud, not to mention false copyright striking my channel for simply exposing this lie. Now imagine being so insecure that me merely exposing your disgusting underhanded business practices makes you want to commit copyright fraud and silence my little bitty channel. Well, how did that work out for you, Neil? Because you can't stop the inevitable. I will be tag teaming with your boy Tyrone in your house very soon. Anyway, look, Neil committing rampant copyright abuse, lying in trailers with a good old bait and switch to manipulate audiences. I mean, these are the cries of a man who's retaliating because his fetishes are being insulted when put out in public. That's all it is. Other than being a scumbag, he's just a scared, embarrassed little boy. Because also remember, he made his team create a character whose appearance is based off himself spitting on Joel's lifeless corpse. Man, I gotta tell you, these latte sipping beta males are something else. Now, The Last of Us 3 isn't tricking anyone because a large chunk of gamers do not want to see Abby Zilla search for more anabolic juice because you just know that the main storyline will be 60 hours of a bodybuilding routine. You only have 7 days to complete the game. Day 1 is triceps and chest. Day 2 is biceps and back. And day 3 will be tucking your balls away. It will be a more immersed version of lifting weights in GTA San Andreas. And yes, that is indeed the plot. What is that sound you're hearing? Oh, that's just both Naughty Dog and the Access Video Game Media's credibility Ellie in respect from the fans just flying out the window. Because guess who's shelling out the cash to buy out the journalists and all the honest reviews for this total masterpiece again? We all know who they are. I mean, this is why people trust random people on the internet over video game journalism. I mean, they've lost all integrity. Welcome to the Game Awards, hosted by The Last of Us Part 3, and the winner of the best game is The Last of Us Part 3. Anyway, let's get back to the topic. Speaking on the Script Apart podcast, thanks IGN. Anybody who says the words "thank you IGN" should be hung, drawn and quartered. Praising the Ignorant Gamers Network is like praising the dumbest human being on the planet. I'm disgusted by that. We're gonna use another source. Right, here we go. According to Druckmann, the current outline explores a little bit of what happens after The Last of Us Part 2. For those still coming to terms with the sequel's fairly bleak ending, a third game could offer so much needed closure, or dare we say it, a happy ending for Ellie. Oh yes, and I totally agree. I can't wait for the next installment, the None of Us Left Part 3. I'm telling you, I cannot wait for this to be created, just so I do not buy it. Isn't it strange though how they can make a Part 3 when there was never a Part 2? Because nope, it never happened. Joel and Ellie are living happily ever after in Tommy's town. Okay, look, before I depart, Naughty Dog has done some real and lasting damage to their brand. It's not Naughty Dog anymore, no, it's the Last of Us game company. They need all of their IPs taken away from them. And on that bombshell, Mannix out.